If you think you know everything about online shopping frustrations, think again. I've spent the last 3 years diving deep into customer behavior data from over 500 e-commerce stores. And what I discovered about the most infuriating pet peeves will completely change how you view online shopping forever. You probably assume the biggest complaints are about slow shipping or high prices. Wrong. The real frustrations are so much more psychological and bizarre than you'd ever imagine. Today, I'm revealing the 12 most unexpected e-commerce pet peeves that are secretly driving customers away from online stores every single day. And some of these will absolutely blow your mind. Let's start with the most shocking discovery. The number one hidden pet peeve isn't what you think. It's what I call the phantom progress trap. You know when you're checking out and that little progress bar shows you're on step 2 of 3, but then suddenly there's a step 4 that never existed? Customers lose their minds over this. It's not just about the extra step. It's the feeling of being lied to by a computer. This triggers something called cognitive betrayal. Your brain had already committed to a 3-step process, allocated mental energy accordingly, and then gets ambushed with additional effort. It's like being told a movie is 2 hours long, then discovering it's actually 3 hours when you're already halfway through. The psychological impact is devastating. But here's where it gets really weird. Customers would rather have 5 clearly labeled steps than 3 steps that secretly become 4. Transparency beats efficiency every single time. Yet most store owners obsess over reducing checkout steps without realizing they're creating trust issues instead. The second shocking pet peeve is the fake urgency epidemic. You've seen these everywhere. Only 3 left in stock. 27 people viewing this item right now. Sale ends in 4 hours and 36 minutes. Here's what store owners don't realize. Customers have become incredibly sophisticated at detecting artificial scarcity. When that countdown timer resets every time they refresh the page, or when that same item has been the last one in stock for 6 months straight, customers don't just ignore it. They actively punish the store by leaving immediately. It's not just ineffective marketing, it's reputation suicide. The psychological principle at work here is called reactance theory. When people detect manipulation, they rebel against it harder than if you'd never tried to influence them at all. Fake urgency doesn't create urgency. It creates disgust. Pet peeve number 3 will surprise you because it seems so innocent. Customers absolutely hate when product images disappear during Zoom. You know the experience. You're trying to examine a product closely. You hover over the image to zoom in, and instead of seeing more detail, the image vanishes completely, or gets replaced by a different angle you didn't want. This creates what researchers call interaction frustration. The customer had a specific intent to see more detail, took action to fulfill that intent, and got punished with less information instead of more. It's like reaching for a door handle and having the door move away from you. The psychological impact is way bigger than the technical glitch suggests. The fourth unexpected pet peeve is the review authenticity crisis. It's not that customers hate fake reviews. That's obvious. It's that they hate when legitimate reviews sound fake because they're too perfect. When every 5-star review uses professional language and mentions specific technical features, customers assume they're all planted, even when they're genuinely written by satisfied buyers. This creates a paradox for business owners. Your best customers who take time to write detailed, thoughtful reviews are actually hurting your credibility because they don't sound authentic enough. The solution isn't to encourage worse reviews. It's to showcase the messy, imperfect, obviously real feedback alongside the polished testimonials. Pet peeve number 5 is absolutely fascinating from a psychology standpoint. Customers despise when the mobile version of a website shows completely different products than the desktop version. This isn't about responsive design or technical limitations. It's about identity consistency. When someone bookmarks a product on their laptop, then tries to find it again on their phone during lunch break, discovering it doesn't exist in the mobile catalog feels like reality is shifting underneath them. They start questioning whether they imagined the product or whether the store is deliberately trying to confuse them. The sixth pet peeve reveals something profound about human psychology. Customers hate when product descriptions are written in third person instead of second person. Instead of saying you'll love this comfortable shirt, descriptions that say customers love this comfortable shirt create emotional distance. This triggers what psychologists call the observer effect. When you're reading about other customers, instead of being directly addressed, your brain shifts from participant mode to observer mode. You stop imagining yourself using the product and start analyzing whether other people's experiences would apply to you. It's a subtle but powerful shift that kills conversion rates. Here's where things get really interesting. The seventh pet peeve is something I call the certainty confusion trap. Customers get frustrated when too many product options are presented without clear differentiation. Not because choice is bad, but because unclear choice creates decision paralysis. When you have 3 similar products with minor differences, customers need you to explicitly tell them which one most people choose and why. Without that guidance, they spend mental energy trying to decode the differences instead of imagining themselves enjoying the product. Choice without direction is torture, not freedom. Pet peeve number 8 shocked me when I first discovered it. Customers hate when checkout pages look dramatically different from the main website design. Even if the checkout page is objectively better designed, the visual discontinuity creates subconscious anxiety about whether they're still on the same secure site. This is called environmental consistency bias. When your visual environment changes suddenly, your brain interprets it as a potential threat. In the context of entering payment information, that tiny anxiety spike is enough to cause cart abandonment, even when everything is perfectly legitimate. The 9th pet peeve reveals how sophisticated modern customers have become. They absolutely despise when email sign-up pop-ups appear before they've had any chance to evaluate the website content. It's not just annoying, it's perceived as desperate and predatory. The timing psychology here is crucial. Customers need to feel some value before being asked to provide something in return. When that pop-up appears within the first 10 seconds, it feels like being asked for your phone number by someone whose name you don't even know yet. The relationship hasn't been established. Pet peeve number 10 is particularly devastating because most store owners think they're being helpful. Customers hate when live chat boxes proactively open with generic messages like, "Can I help you find anything today?" The interruption feels invasive, and the generic nature feels robotic. But here's the fascinating part. The same customers love when live chat proactively opens with specific contextual help. If they've been looking at size charts for 3 minutes, a message saying "need help." Choosing the right size creates gratitude instead of irritation. Timing and relevance matter more than the feature itself. The 11th pet peeve exposes a massive blind spot in how most e-commerce stores handle customer service. Customers get furious when FAQ pages don't actually answer frequently asked questions. Instead, they're filled with questions the company wishes customers would ask. Real frequently asked questions are usually inconvenient. Where is my order? Why was I charged twice? How do I return this? Companies want to promote questions about product features and company values. This mismatch creates massive frustration when customers can't find answers to their actual concerns. The final and most surprising pet peeve is something I call the gratitude gap. Customers hate when confirmation pages immediately try to upsell instead of acknowledging the purchase they just made. After someone commits to buying from you, they need a moment of positive reinforcement before being asked to buy more. Think about it psychologically. You just convinced someone to trust you with their money. Instead of saying thank you and confirming their smart decision, you immediately pivot to pushing more products. It feels like being asked for a second date before finishing the first one. Understanding these hidden pet peeves isn't just about fixing problems. It's about recognizing that successful e-commerce is fundamentally about psychology, not just technology. Every interaction either builds trust or erodes it. Every design choice either supports the customer's mental model or violates it. The most successful online stores don't just avoid these pet peeves. They actively design experiences that make customers feel understood, respected, and intelligent. They recognize that customer frustration often stems from deeper psychological needs that have nothing to do with the product itself. What's fascinating is that addressing these issues often costs nothing but awareness. Changing how you phrase product descriptions, restructuring your checkout flow, or timing your pop-ups differently requires no additional budget. Just strategic thinking about customer psychology. The real question is, which of these pet peeves is your store accidentally committing right now? And how might fixing them transform your customer relationships overnight?